Hello students, in previous lecture series videos related to normalization, we have seen first, second, third normal forms and we can eliminate redundancy and update anomalies or problems through first, second and third normal forms for some extent. In second normal form, partial dependencies are removed and in third normal form, transitive dependencies are removed on the primary key of a relation. Even then, the general definitions of second normal form and third normal form may identify additional redundancy caused by dependencies that violate one or more candidate keys. And that will cause redundancy to be present in third normal form relations. So even then, the second and third normal form eliminated some dependencies. There are some problems. So that weakness in third normal form resulted in the presentation of a stronger normal form, stronger normal form called voice chord normal form. And this BCNF is based on functional dependencies that take into account all candidate keys in a relation. BCNF is based on functional dependencies that take into account all candidate keys in a relation. About functional dependencies and all we have discussed in the previous videos. Let us recall what is candidate key. Candidate key is the minimal set of attributes that uniquely identifies each occurrence of an entity type. That is, candidate key is the minimal set of attributes which uniquely identifies each row in a table. Then from that set of attributes of candidate keys, we select one must be as the primary key. The choice of primary key for an entity or table is based on considerations of attribute length. Let us see example. For example, consider staff table with attributes staff number, Aadhaar number, selected as candidate keys. So take staff table with attribute staff number, Aadhaar number, for example, and those staff number, Aadhaar number are selected as candidate keys. From these two attributes, we have to select one primary key with minimum length. For example, consider the staff number contains maximum 5 characters length like SG14, and Aadhaar number contains maximum 12 numbers length. Therefore, we select staff number as the primary key of the staff entity type, and Aadhaar number is then referred as the alternate key. So this is about candidate key. When coming to our normal form, this BCNF definition, it is like this. BCNF definition is like this. A relation is in BCNF if and only if every determinant is a candidate key. A relation, a table, is in BCNF if and only if every determinant means the left attribute in the functional dependency, is a candidate key. I told you now about candidate key. Every determinant is a candidate key. Remember that every relation in BCNF is also in 3NF, that is third normal form. before converting any table into BCNF, that table should be in first, third normal form. However, a relation in third normal form is not necessarily in BCNF. Next, let us consider staff property inspection table from Dream Home case study. Staff property inspection table from Dream Home case study with attributes like property number, property address, inspection date, inspection time, comments, staff number, staff name, car registration. Let us consider this table, and this is, if you observe this table, this is in unnormalized form. This is in unnormalized table, and now we are converting this table into 1NF, 2NF, 3NF and also in BCNF. Let us see step by step. And this is unnormalized table because we identify the repeating groups in the unnormalized table, that is multiple values. What is repeating group? What is multiple values? I told already in the previous lecture series. So for example, for inspection date, for inspection time, comments, staff number, S name, car registration, there are multiple values. For single attribute, we are seeing multiple values. The intersection of row and column only should be one value, but we are having more than one value. That is called repeating groups, multiple values. So it is in unnormalized form. So there are multiple values at the intersection of certain rows and columns. For example, for property number PG4, there are 3 values for inspection date. 3 dates are there. Now we have to transform this unnormalized form to first normal form. First normal form by removing repeating groups, like entering the appropriate property details in each row. How to convert these repeating groups? How to eliminate these repeating groups? Entering the appropriate property details in each row. So the resulting first normal form staff property inspection relation is shown here. So now we have converted this unnormalized form into first normal form. That is the first step, first normal form. So now we get 5 tuples or 5 rows from 2 tuples. So here only we have 2 tuples, 2 rows that we converted into 5 rows for eliminating repeating groups. PG4 18th October 12, PG4 22nd, PG4. Instead of having like these multiple values, we converted into like this. The next step is to identify functional dependencies. So always converted unnormalized form into first normal form. The immediate step is identifying functional dependencies from this table. From this table, we need to identify functional dependencies. And then we use functional dependencies to identify candidate keys for this table. And the next step is to select one primary key from candidate keys which we identified. So this is actual procedure for any table. So we have to see the functional dependencies in the first normal form. So these are the functional dependencies from FD1 to FD6. Functional dependency 1 to, that means 6 functional dependencies that we identified. See, first functional dependency, property number, inspection date are the determinants. These are the determinants. And I time, P address, comments, staff number, S name, car registration. All these are dependents. So that is why the arrow mark is shown like this. So all these attributes are depending on these two attributes. If we know property number and inspection date together, we can identify all these attributes values. That is what the meaning of this first functional dependency. Then also composite candidate keys are identified. What is candidate key? So one is, so 3 sets of candidate keys we identified in this table. 3 sets of candidate keys we identified in this table. One is property number, I date. This is one set. Second is staff number, I date. Staff number, I date, I time. And third one is car registration. Car registration, I date, I time. So these are the 3 candidate keys we can identify from this table. I told you already about the candidate keys. So those are the minimal set of attributes to identify each tuple in the table uniquely. So 3 sets of candidate keys we can identify. So in that set of candidate keys, for which set of attributes length is minimum, that becomes and selected for primary key. So for our table, the primary key identified as property number, I date. So if we know, so you can imagine generally, so if we know property number and inspection date, so we can identify all the dependent attributes values. So that is the final selection we made from the 3 sets of keys of candidate keys. So this is primary key. So if we know property number and inspection date together, we can extract all the information. Now the next step is transforming this first normal form to second normal form. So first we have taken unnormalized form and then converted into first normal form by removing repeating groups, and then we identified functional dependencies. How to identify functional dependencies, how to identify candidate keys, that is all based on the table. So if we know the attributes, if we think about the table in detail, so automatically we can extract the functional dependencies and also candidate keys. So that is based on the user. So user has to think which is a functional dependency and which are the candidate keys, which are the minimal attributes to identify each row. that is all based on the table. You need to understand the table attributes for